Shalom, Mishpaka. How are you doing? I hope you're having a nice time this weekend. Just while I was having my workout, I had this message from Almighty, and due to the urgency, I decided to do it immediately, just as I was instructed. Okay, and he was telling me to speak, and this is just like a wake-up call. Okay, and it's about what's your identity. What is your identity? Now, a lot of people identify as different things, or the most identify as humans. And let me just do this out here. And then now, he said I should tell you this. If you identify as a human, you'll be limited. That's for those that understand who they are. Or he needs you to understand who you are. That's just the main thing. He said, if you identify yourself as a human, you're going to be limited. What is your identity? Why did he say that? You see, a lot of people say, hey, yes, I'm a pastor, I'm a this, I'm a teacher, I'm this, but don't look at my frailty, I'm only human. Now, it's when you see yourself as a human, you just only negate the word of El Shaddai in your life. He said, be holy as I am holy. I always tell people this. If El Shaddai knows that you can't be holy because you're human, you can't be exactly as he is, he wouldn't give you that commandment. Remember, he is a loving Abba. He is a loving Abba. And a real father would not give, father cannot give an instruction to a child that cannot take that instruction. You all agree with me on that. So that is it. But if you identify yourself as a spiritual being, as a being that came down from above, but it's just only borrowing this flesh, this human flesh, only borrowing it just to stay here. If you identify yourself as that sort of person, you will believe that all things are possible. Remember the words of Yahushua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ? He said, all things are possible to him that believes. All things are possible to him that believes. Now ask yourself, are you going to believe, or are you going to keep giving excuses for not living up to the potential and up to what your Father in Shemayim wants, up to the desired level and requirement your Father in Shemayim wants you to live, your Father in heaven wants you to live? Ask yourself that. Will you keep giving excuses? No, don't look at my weakness. I'm only human. You know we are only human. We're only human. No, you're not human. We're all spirit beings. But because the requirement to live on earth requires that we have a flesh, that is why we borrow this flesh to live here on earth. This flesh you're seeing is not the real me. The real me is inside me. The same thing with you. I only borrow this flesh to survive, to live here, because that's the requirement here. And you all agree with me that there are a lot of spirit beings waiting for flesh to possess so that they can be able to live their lives here on earth. If you don't know that, yes, that's true. We're all spirit beings. So you can't identify with this flesh you're here. Remember the words of Yahushua HaMashiach. He said, we are in this world, but we are not of this world. If you really, really, really believe all the teachings that our Abba has given and Yahushua has given, because it didn't contradict the Torah, who is also called Jesus Christ, you would sit down and think and then understand that when you see that you've got a weakness, you don't give an excuse for that weakness. You commit yourself to get rid of that weakness with the help of the Ruach HaKodesh, with the help of the Holy Spirit. You have no excuses for you to live below your potential. No excuse. You just have to go sit down and ask yourself why. Pray and ask your Abba to reveal to you. And if it's something that you know is definitely a sin, and of course others to also sin, you have got to deal with it. Don't give excuse and say, I'm only human. Because most of us, or all of us, are spirit beings living in a body. And spirit beings from different realms of existence. Of course, you have to got to know who you are. and you will know where you come from. Yehoshua HaMashiach knew who he was. Jesus Christ knew who he was. He said, I'm not of this world, I came from above. But he spoke to the disciples. Why did he speak to them? He said, because you are following his teachings. You are following his Torah. I'm going into my home now. You are following his teachings. And he said, you are in this world, but you're not of this world. Anyone that follows the Torah, naturally should know that you're not from here. You're not of this world. You came from somewhere to come on earth. Have you asked yourself, where were you before you were born? Where were you before you were in your mother's womb? I pray you have a beautiful weekend, and I pray that the Ruach HaKodesh would speak to you and interpret this message in a way that you will understand. And that's my home. Have a lovely day ahead. And any more messages that come, we're going to talk about it. Shalom.